So this is going to be a rather serious video, a very important video, because there is no time to waste, because it's happening. It's already been happening. And it affects everyone. It totally affects everyone. I'm going through the comments this morning. Hello, you all. This is going to have to do with Area 51. It's going to have to do with what's happening on the earth right now and what will happen. It has something to do with that invisible monster, that massive black hole that's headed straight this way, how it had a tussle. Remember that? It got kicked out of its host galaxy. It has something to do with what is happening and what has happening. It has something to do with the Roswell. It has something to do with the Greys. It has something to do with a lot of things. And it was a comment that was left by God's Child 7770. Thank you. And we're gonna listen, you all. I want you to please listen to me. This is not a game. Our very survival depends on this. It does. We may be surviving right now. You may be thinking, I'm doing my best to survive right now, Gina. I really am. I don't need no more of this gloom and doom. I don't need no more negativity. Well, you need to hear what's going on. Whether you believe it or not, just please open your ear. There are clues that are left in movies, in books, in games. There's clues. There's clues. Not all is a big, conspiracy. No. This is real life things that have been happening. This is really strange too. Listen, look at this. Hello. I went to this flea market. Well, it's called like the Peddler's Mall in Clarksville, Indiana, just for around an hour to walk around. It was like on Saturday, I think maybe Saturday or something. I don't know when it was. After I had done, I don't know what I did. I was looking for, like books, poetry or something like children's book. And I go to this one bookshelf, and guess what's setting right there on that bookshelf? Let me show you what was setting right on the bookshelf that I looked at. Right there, setting on a bookshelf, investigating the whatever agenda above us. Gina, honey, there ain't no alien agenda. It's all make-believe. It's all humans doing it. Is it? I want y'all to listen to this. I do. I want you to listen to it. I'm going to play this video clip that was shared by God's Child 7770. Thank you so much for your comment. They threw it in the held for review, and you had no words that should have got thrown into the held for review. You all listen to it. I'm going to flip it around and play careful attention because it's happening. What is being said? It's from Area 51 video game, Mr. White, all clips. Look at this. I'm going to turn this light out. This is what it's from. It was from the year 2014. This was uploaded right here. I want y'all to listen very carefully, you all, because this is, listen. Okay, we're going to do it, you all. We can do it. If you're just tuning in, we have all we need on the inside of us to weather the storm that's in front of us, but we got to be aware of what's happening and what direction this storm is coming from. Okay, let me turn this out, you all. This is important. Can I get that light turned out? Okay, watch it. Oh, that's almost like the shape of the zero that we saw blasted up from the observatories on the lens flare yesterday. It was a perfect number 0. Look at that. No, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. If you did not see the video about the circle that was in the sky, I'm serious. The circle that was in the sky on this channel, I want to show you last night. Just let me give it. That just now popped in my head. It did just right now. It was. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this, you all. Let me turn this down. Let me mute this for a second. I want you to see the circle before we look at that video, because this was a big number 0. The number 0 was beamed into the sky at the observatories in Hawaii. That is not a lens flare. That is a deliberate number 0 at the observatories in Hawaii. I've been seeing it off and on for months and months and months, but I never could see the other half of it. It is a 0 being beamed up into the sky at Hawaii. Okay, now let me push it back to, we're going to watch this right here. Where are we at? Can you see? Wait a minute. Don't tell me I messed this up. The plot, the plot. Right here. We're going to watch it. See, that's a 0. Area 51. Okay, look at this, you all. Let me turn this around. People may say, Gina, honey, what are you doing? We can't even see you. You have done lost your mind. Well, you know what? I can't even turn this light on. If I have to lose a part of me that was programmed wrong, if I have to lose a part of me that was programmed wrong, that was embedded in my head in order to see the truth, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Get it out of me. I want my eyes completely open. I want your eyes completely open. We want that third eye completely open. There's something going on. Okay, now I can do it. Listen to it very carefully. It's really important. Listen to what this is supposed to be a video game. It's called Area 51, Mr. White, all clips.
For the uninitiated, I am Mr. White. My real name is unimportant. I am the facilitator of Dreamland. Yes, the maker of dreams. I like that. It's poetic. I first met Dr. Winston Cray during the Second World War. His brilliance in early DNA research earned him a leading role in developing biochemical weapons. The success of the Manhattan Project was inconsequential compared to the success we achieved. But our projects were never approved for moral implications. So unbeknownst to Dr. Cray, I engaged in several experiments of my own in the Midwest. Oh, the horrors I inflicted led to so many wonderful discoveries. But then the alien craft crashed in Roswell, and things took an interesting twist. When I discovered the biochemical marvels hidden in the one called Edgar, I sent Dr. Cray to work immediately. Working with the Greys, as they are called, has been invigorating. The staff is scared to death of them, owing in part to an incident where a linguistic coordinator accidentally bumped into one during an early negotiation. The man's face was quickly and neatly torn from his skull. I could swear I saw him register surprise in what was left of his eye sockets. And yes, it's true. Part of the pact gives them human subjects to experiment on, the results of which are quite often gruesome. But I still find them a fascinating and brilliant species. It has always been the goal of our organization to do what's best for mankind. The pact with the Greys simply pushed up the timeline. Those put in power by us, presidents, prime ministers, religious figures, and nobility, sometimes get greedy. However, an assassin's bullet, or the delightfully degenerative effect of the many diseases in our control, usually takes care of that. Some have called our plans a Luciferian conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues. Not because they have had a change of heart, but because, well, because they will already have rotted out from the inside. The chips we've implanted in the majority of the population under the guise of vaccinations allow us to watch the watchers. Now, how could anyone say the pact was a bad thing? The technology we've been able to create as a result of the pact helps everyone. Our embedded chips in cell phones allow us to easily record conversations around the globe. Nanofibers woven into currency let us monitor the world's money wherever it goes. And we've placed monitoring devices the size of pinheads in most generic light fixtures. This enables us to gather surveillance in the homes of the average American. And let me tell you, the things they do in the privacy of their own homes is far more disturbing than anything found here at Dreamland. What we have created made the world we have today. It is only natural for us to control it. People simply do not understand what it takes for them to safely eat their hamburgers, see their television shows, drive their cars. It's a dangerous world, which is why the pact is of such immense benefit to us. It offers us a delightful weapon that causes epidemic mutation and destruction of our enemies. And the masses can sleep at night, nary a care. The crowning jewel of the pact, truly, is what Dr. Cray calls the infection carrier. Edgar's biochemistry held the key. I don't claim to understand the specifics, but the result is magnificent. Death has never been more beautiful.
Okay, what you were looking at was from a video game. Secret U.S. Air Force military installation located at Groom Lake. Located at Groom Lake. Look at that right there. Reminds me of the zero that was in the sky at the Hawaii Observatory yesterday. I've seen this blasted every so often at the observatories, and I've never seen the other end of it. It's a deliberate number zero being blasted up there into like a signal being sent. This is what this is, you all, right here. And can anyone on here say that what was being said is not true? Can anyone on here say, if you have eyes to see, ears to hear, can anyone on here say that what he said is not true? I cannot say that he's telling a lie. No, he's not lying. It's happening. It is happening. It is. There are people who have worked at that place, Area 51. When my husband was at Nellis Air Force Base, oh, the military was not near it. You couldn't even fly over Area 51 when my husband went out there to Tonopah and Beatty, Nevada. Oh, no, they would have Red Force. It would be Red Force time when Russia and some other militaries of the world, they were flying over and they were seeing how they can, I don't know, stop their communications so they couldn't communicate. No one was allowed to fly over that area of the desert. No one. You weren't allowed to get near it. You weren't. It was, and it still is, top secret. But if you go look that up, you all, this is happening. There is no time. And what did the WEF say? There will be a catastrophic mutating event in 2 years. Catastrophic mutating event. This individual said there was a mutating event. Here's what happened. In this video game, whatever it was called, Area 51, the Greys who landed here from Roswell, whatever it was, they wanted to create a mutation that would defeat their enemy, but they got with the scientists on Earth. They made a deal with the Illuminati, is what they did. A deal with the Illuminati, exchange their technology in order to, work on their thing like that. So miles and miles and miles and miles beneath the Earth is where they did their experiments. Literally, you heard him say they ripped the face off of there. Remember those cattle mutilations and stuff like that? Remember that? Clear. That's what he described. Do you think that there's an alien force out there that has, it's a pure evil force? It's on the Earth. It's been on the Earth for a long time. They just so happened to capture it, a catastrophic mutating event. Let's see if he's talking about it.
Aryan conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues.
The,
Not because they have had a change of heart, but because, well, because they will already have rotted out from the inside. The chips we've implanted in the majority of the population under the guise of vaccinations allow us to watch the watchers. Now,
are they saying that we are the watchers? The human beings on earth are the watchers? That's what it said. They cause you to rot out on the inside. The chips and everything, they're watching you all. He's already said in this game, the coming of our God. And there is something coming. It's that black hole coming.
called our plans a Luciferian conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues.
They will hold their tongues. A Luciferian conspiracy. Do you think it's a Luciferian conspiracy, you all? No. There's no conspiracy here, you all. There is none. This is from a video game, is what it was from. And it was uploaded on the YouTube. It's from 2005, you all. I've got this pulled up right here on the Wikipedia. Look at this. So the plot, you can look it up. Area 51, 2005 video game right there. Right there. It's a video game from 2005. But Gina, honey, that's all. This make-believe. Is it make-believe? Did you hear what he said? Did you see what's been going on in the world? Did you? Do you know what's coming this way? It's a primordial monster, invisible monster. They're calling it the beast. It's ripping and tearing through space, and it's headed toward Earth. It's got its eye set on Earth, and behind it is a 200,000 mile long stars, newborn stars following it. And it's a luminosity. NASA described it. The luminosity of this black hole, invisible monster that's ripping and tearing through space is almost half as bright as the host galaxy it came from, half as bright. And I saw Satan fall like lightning. And he took with him, he lost his battle. He fought with Michael and his angels in heaven, and they lost their place. He took with him a third of the host of heaven that would almost be half as bright as the host galaxy that NASA is describing. Why is it headed toward Earth? Why did they describe it as the beast? An invisible monster ripping and tearing through space, you all. There's no time to waste. They've been looking. The Lucifer telescope. Remember that guy in the video? They call it a Luciferian. And then what are you? Lucifericase, the glowing inside the people. The glowing inside the people. The aliens, they ripped the face off of their clean cut.
Fascinating and brilliant species.
Listen,
The
mutating.
results of which are quite often gruesome. But I still find them a fascinating and brilliant species. It has always been the goal of our organization to do what's best for mankind. The pact with the Greys simply pushed up the timeline. Those put in power by us, presidents, prime ministers, religious figures, and nobility, sometimes get greedy. However, an assassin's bullet, or the delightfully degenerative effect of the many diseases in our control, usually takes care of that. Some have called our plans a Luciferian conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues.
They will hold their tongues. And he forced all, rich, poor, free, slave, to receive a mark. And if you didn't, you're gonna worship it, the new God, or you're gonna be put to death, more or less. But this is all from a video game. If you say, Gina, it's just a game, there's nothing. It's all going to get better. It's all good. We're going to be ascending. We're going to be rescued before any of this happens. It's already happening. What he is speaking of is already happening. We got these deep underground bases. Deep underground bases, DUMBs, a vast array all over the world. And horrible, horrible things are happening underground. Horrible things. And why would this show up on a bookshelf? I went to the Peddler Mall just to walk around and just look for a children's book. And why would this book be there? I don't believe in coincidences. And why would it be there based on what I've been sharing on this YouTube channel and other social media? It's focusing on something like that. And that book showed up. It has all the stuff in it. It has the mutilations. It has the Roswell. It has all these other things in it. And then this gets thrown into the held for review. No, we're out of time. There's no time to waste. And the number zero. The number zero. It's like the zero being blasted into the sky. Like the zero being blasted in the sky from the observatories late last night. Late last night. If you take pictures, and there was a comment, Gina, I've been doing photography for 25 years. There's no way that a zero can show up unless it was put there deliberately in the sky. I don't know which way this camera was facing, but it's always showing up. There's always a bright light. And I can only see the curvature of it, you all. Only the curvature. But now we can see more clearly. There is an agenda. It's not a conspiracy. There is something coming. There is a darkness that is falling over this earth. And I'm not gloom and doom. I'm not. If you're just tuning in, Gina, what is this all about? Well, that comment, it didn't fall under this video right here. It fell under a different video. Which video did it fall under? I think it fell under that video last night, which they said was chemtrails. You can see this face in the sky right there. This face in the sky. These are the videos from yesterday, but this is what was shared. If you go to the live, you all see, Gina, honey, I don't know nothing about no big black hole monster ripping and tearing through space. Let me help you out. I do want to help you out. Is this what? Okay, look at this. The Hopi prophecy, the Hubble catches. It's not this one, but it has information in it. It was the one where the news reporters, we've done lots of videos. There's something already coming. This video right here, it's where they're sitting there laughing about this black hole, making fun of an invisible monster. It's all scripted. They're making fun. But when they called it a monster, and when NASA described it in this video as the beast that's headed this way with its luminosity, oh, there's something headed this way. There is. There's something in the sky. There's something that they're hiding. We're out of time. And there's been stories of things going on down underground, deep underground, and the Eisenhower and stuff, the exchange for technology and all that kind of stuff for experiments. And people have been visited by beings. They have. And they want to make the mutation. They were genetics. Genetics. Just think they hid it in a video game. In a video game. They told it right out there. It's all out there in the public. There's no more conspiracy because it's happening, you all. We're out of time. We're out of time. You can find the plot right here. This was a video game, Area 51. They're trying to tell us without getting in trouble from their masters. Their masters, because they know if you dare open your mouth without permission, you heard them, an assassin's bullet is coming after you according to this game. They're going to come after you. They're going to shut you up, or you're going to have some kind of disease. You're just going to die. You're just going to die is what you're going to do. They don't play. They don't play. Look at this gameplay, but it's not a game, you all. It's not a game. The plot. In 1947, this is what the video game is based on. Let me read it to you. In 1947, an alien spacecraft crashed near Roswell, New Mexico in the United States. The craft was recovered by U.S. Air Force and taken to Area 51 in Nevada, where the lone survivor of the crash, a powerful gray named Edgar, was held captive by the U.S. military. Eventually, the Greys opened a dialogue with the Illuminati, led by the ominous Mr. White, and struck a deal with them. The Illuminati would give the Greys a research base 3 miles below the surface of Area 51, the use of the base as a landing site, and give them the human test subjects were they, along with the scientists. They had the scientists down there. They would give them human test subjects. You can see right here. Human test subjects where they, along with the human scientists, would research a mutagenic virus to use in war on their home world. In return, the Greys would give the Illuminati exclusive access to Grey technology. The Illuminati used some of this technology to spy on the population. The Greys and the human scientists eventually developed a powerful alien being known as the Theta, which spread the virus. Unbeknownst to many of the scientists working on the project, the Greys and the Illuminati were also planning to use the virus against the Earth population and dominate the planet. When Dr. Winston Cray found out about the plan, he let loose Theta and the mutagenetic virus throughout Area 51, and in an effort to slow it down, this prompted the military to send in a quick reaction force and hazmat and all that kind of stuff, you all. So they communicate telepathically. They wanted to try to decontaminate this one person who led it, but they couldn't, and rid him of the virus before he could be cured. The Illuminati attacked and killed Cray and stopped the process. So underground, deep underground, you all, they want the Area 51 is being destroyed. They want to destroy it, but unknown contents inside this alien container, this alien walks out and has unknown contents inside. But it was too late. They failed. They failed, according to the video game. But, can mankind be saved from this? Well, we've got this stuff going on according to this video game. It's happening. It really is. And to be based off a real world, they want to spy on the population. Are you being spied on? Are you? Is your calls being listened to? I know every time I get on the phone, practically 99% of the time I get on the phone and I talk to somebody, it's a constant, it's like this. I hear on my end, constantly listening to me, a 50-some-odd-year-old woman with a YouTube channel talking about aliens. Why you got to listen to me? Why you got to listen to me? Have you all heard it too? Have you heard it? Are they listening? Why you got to cut my communications off time and time again? You think this is a joke? You think this is the zero that was in the sky at the observatory. They're blasting it in the sky. They're sending a signal out there in space. They are sending a signal. That zero means something. It's not a lens flare. It's a deliberate number 0. It's a deliberate number 0. So we're running out of time. There's no time to waste. There is no time. There's no time to waste because it's happening here. The WEF said there will be, in 2 years, A catastrophic mutating event, cyber-like. They've got chips in everything, mutating, mutating. Oh, Gina, honey, it'll never happen. Okay, I hope you're around to see it because it's going to happen. You can't stop it. No, it's going to happen. I'm not being gloom and doom. I'm not going to say it's not. These are powerful beings that we're dealing with. They're very, very powerful. They eliminate people who get in their way just like that. Even though there's evidence to say that they were eliminated, those people were hush hush too. They're powerful. I'm not going to tell you they're not. They're very, very powerful. But they're not as powerful as God. They're not as powerful as He that is in me and you than He that is in the world. They're not as powerful of this love on the inside of us. God is love. Love is that light. Love is the key. They're not more powerful than this key that is inside of us. They are not. They know they're not. They know they're not as powerful. But if they can get to the watchers, and eliminate them and contaminate their body, then they think they got a chance. Meanwhile, their master is that great big primordial black hole. They got kicked out of its host galaxy with a 200,000 mile long thing of stars trailing behind it, ripping and tearing through space. The invisible monster, their master, the beast, is headed straight toward Earth. Straight toward Earth. This may sound like a sci-fi thing. No, this is reality. This is from authoritative sources. Authoritative sources. NASA is considered an authoritative source. It's heading toward space. Their master, his master's coming. His master's coming. If you want to hear it one more time, you listen to this. Those who have ears to hear, we're going to listen to it one more time. I'm not going to go on and on, but you're going to listen to it one more time. You know that's the number 0, just like we found at the observatory. One more time. If you have ears to hear and you're not asleep, you listen to what is being said in this video game. It's a video game from 2005. Mr. White in Area 51. You tell me if this is not happening on this earth. You listen. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you listen.
For the uninitiated, I am Mr. White. My real name is unimportant. I am the facilitator of Dreamland. Yes, the maker of dreams. I like that. It's poetic. I first met Dr. Winston Cray during the Second World War. His brilliance in early DNA research earned him a leading role in developing biochemical weapons. The success of the Manhattan Project was inconsequential compared to the success we achieved. But our projects were never approved for moral implications. So unbeknownst to Dr. Cray, I engaged in several experiments of my own in the Midwest. Oh, the horrors I inflicted led to so many wonderful discoveries. But then the alien craft crashed in Roswell, and things took an interesting twist. When I discovered the biochemical marvels hidden in the one called Edgar, I sent Dr. Cray to work immediately. Working with the Greys, as they are called, has been invigorating. The staff is scared to death of them, owing in part to an incident where a linguistic coordinator accidentally bumped into one during an early negotiation. The man's face was quickly and neatly torn from his skull. I could swear I saw him register surprise in what was left of his eye sockets. And yes, it's true. Part of the pact gives them human subjects to experiment on, the results of which are quite often gruesome. But I still find them a fascinating and brilliant species. It has always been the goal of our organization to do what's best for mankind. The pact with the Greys simply pushed up the timeline. Those put in power by us, presidents, prime ministers, religious figures, and nobility, sometimes get greedy. However, an assassin's bullet, or the delightfully degenerative effect of the many diseases in our control, usually takes care of that. Some have called our plans a Luciferian conspiracy. But they will not say such things after the coming of the new guard. They will hold their tongues. Not because they have had a change of heart, but because, well, because they will already have rotted out from the inside. The chips we've implanted in the majority of the population under the guise of vaccinations allow us to watch the watchers. Now, how could anyone say the pact was a bad thing? The technology we've been able to create as a result of the pact helps everyone. Our embedded chips in cell phones allow us to easily record conversations around the globe. Nanofibers woven into currency let us monitor the world's money wherever it goes. And we've placed monitoring devices the size of pinheads in most generic light fixtures. This enables us to gather surveillance in the homes of the average American. And let me tell you, the things they do in the privacy of their own homes is far more disturbing than anything found here at Dreamland. What we have created made the world we have today. It is only natural for us to control it. People simply do not understand what it takes for them to safely eat their hamburgers, see their television shows, drive their cars. It's a dangerous world, which is why the pact is of such immense benefit to us. It offers us a delightful weapon that causes epidemic mutation and destruction of our enemies. And the masses can sleep at night, nary a care. The crowning jewel of the pact, truly, is what Dr. Cray calls the infection carrier. Edgar's biochemistry held the key. I don't claim to understand the specifics, but the result is magnificent. Death has never been more beautiful.
So, that's it of that. That's it of that, you all. There's no time to waste. There is no time to waste. It's happening. What he speaks of, even though it's a video game, I think that's their way of getting the information out. Because could you imagine if this made mainstream, if you had people on Earth, well, oh, by the way, we were forced to do this, we were forced to do that. We just want to let you know what's happening now because there is no time. No, they're not going to say that. They fear for their life. They fear for their life is what they do. And this book, I went to walk around at the Peddler Mall in Clarksville, Indiana, I don't know, Saturday, looking for a children's book. I can't find hardly any of them anymore. And this book was sitting on a bookshelf. Sitting on a bookshelf. And I do this video, I do this channel, and I'm focusing on stuff like this: aliens, spaceships, the spiritual realm. That's not coincidental. That's synchronicity. And when I saw it, I thought, wow, it got my attention in a spiritual way. It really did. This ain't no game. It's not a game, you all. It's not a game at all. I'm going to take myself outside. I am going to go outside because this world that we're living in, all of it is playing just like he said it is. Just like he said it's playing. But that's okay, you all. We're gonna go into the light. It may be dark, but there's the light. It may be dark, you all, but we're gonna come into the light. That's right. We don't have to stay in that darkness. We don't have to stay in that prison that they've made for us. No, no, we don't. We are awake. We are awake. We being watched over. They just disconnected me when I said they don't care. It literally did. It said reconnect. This is true what I'm telling you, you all. It is. My life got turned upside down back in around 2018 or so. Probably even before then. A lot of people started waking up in 2014. A lot of them. Yeah. A lot of people woke up. You cannot have the light without the dark. You can't have the dark without the light. But there's an imbalance on this earth. There's an imbalance. It wants to literally cover the earth. We're not alone. We're not fighting this alone. We're not. If there's a good AI, there's a bad AI. Okay? There's good intelligence out there, you all. We've got to reach out. We got to realize that there are angels out there. There are beings out there, interdimensional beings, other beings that were created that are not bad. They're not. I have sheep that are not of this fold. Okay? So time is up. They're monitoring everything we're doing. They talked about you will keep your mouth shut. Talking about a Luciferian conspiracy and all this kind of stuff. And this is a video game. But as you can tell, there's no, it's not a conspiracy. It's not. What he spoke of was true. And you know what? I would not be surprised that even though they passed it off as a video game and this thing was the dreamland, you know, people got attacked in their dream state. How many people, when you went to sleep, your body was feeling nice and fine, then you wake up this next morning, your neck is hurting, your back is hurting, you feel like you got whiplash, your joints are swollen, your knees are busted, they're swollen because you got attacked in your dream state by something like that. Even though they may say it's a video game, no, I don't know. No, I think it was the real being. The real being. And they want to put it in a video game because that's how it gets to people, through video games, through that realm right there. I don't consent either. I don't consent either. You think I consented, or anybody else consented, when they laid their head down to rest, to wake up the next morning and have their body attacked, and then have, oh, well, it's ascension symptoms. I know you can't bend your knees. I know it's hard for you to even get up from a sitting position. I know that your shoulder feels like it's dislocated, but it's an ascension symptom. No, you got attacked in your dream state from beings like that. You got attacked in your dream state from beings like that. My body literally felt like they bent my knees backward. They tried to bust my knees. It took 3 months for my knees to even get to the point to where I could safely get up from a sitting position. I couldn't even do it. I had to use my arms to do it. Just sit down. Oh yeah, it was a traumatic injury. It sent me to the doctor. Just like people who their neck and their back, it started happening this early last year. Sent them to the doctor. Some people had x-rays. Your shoulder's dislocated. Really? Yeah. Or massive headaches. Our bodies were under attack. They can do it. They got the technology. They got it, you all. You are woke up sore with bruises. Dayana, has anybody else woke up? Because they haven't stopped. I'm sure they're not just going to do it once. They're just doing it and doing it. Pray before you go to sleep. Pray before you go to sleep. Do whatever you speak it out loud. Protect yourself before you go to sleep. Say you don't get permission. You want to be surrounded by your angels. You want to be surrounded by God. You want to be watched over while you sleep, so the enemy cannot come and attack you during your dream state. I pray before I go to bed. I do. I pray before I go to bed. I pray before I get up in the morning. Gina, honey, you're not supposed to pray. It works for me. You got to try it. But if you don't believe in it, then don't try it. It works for me and a whole lot of other people. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. If there was no power in prayer, if there was no power in words, and if there was no power of love coming from your heart, the frequency, yeah, it does, you all. It works. So time is up. I'm not going to get into all of that. Time is up. This is the, we don't have time to waste. It's happening now. There is a plan. And in that video game, nobody will open their mouth when their God comes, when a new God comes. You won't. You won't say nothing. Yeah, you aching. Um, Red Bull vodka. There's people who don't want people praying. Okay, they don't believe in that. They don't. They think it's a waste of time. They, so be it. Don't waste your time praying if you feel it's a waste of time. But leave us alone. Okay, leave us alone because we're not going to put up with it. We won't. Um, that's right. He hears the prayer of the righteous. A righteous man, the prayer of a righteous man prevails much. That's right, you all. Wake up. There's no conspiracy here. It's real world. It's actual. It's happening. The Area 51, the Manhattan Project, all of this. We know that they doing a lot of things. This is a video game, mind you. Came from a video game. It did. And we got a primordial black hole, which they call the invisible monsters, which CNN or whoever it was, I don't know what news station, MSC, NBC or something, was making fun of it, laughing about an invisible monster playing the role, ripping and tearing through space. NASA calling it the beast, with the luminosity almost as half as bright as the host galaxy that it got kicked out of, but it's barreling straight toward Earth. And instead of having stars or fragments of things sucking it in front of it, oh no, this stuff is behind it. It's bringing it. It's behind it. Black holes normally suck everything in, but not this one. Not this one. No, it's got a tail on it. And they had to say 200,000 or whatever light years, whatever they called it, of new stars shining so bright, half as bright almost as the host galaxy it got kicked out of, 1/3. But it's barreling toward Earth. So I am going to go, you all. It is a good time to be alive. It is. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. You don't want to shrink, you don't, but you want to prepare yourself because our world is changing and it's not getting better. It's not getting better. It's going to get a whole lot worse. I don't know who's spreading the falseness out there saying it's going to get better, everything's going to get better. Oh no, it's going to get horrible, a whole lot worse. And it's going to be global. The only time it gets better is when this darkness, this evil is taken out of here. That's the only time it's going to get better. Taken completely out. But a lot of us will not be here to see that day. A lot of us won't. Will you be here, Gina? I hope I am, but if I'm not, I'm going to be here in spirit. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be joining in on the battle. I am. We're joining in on the battle right now. We are. One day, it will be over. And they know it. They know it. The darkness knows it. That's okay, you all. That we don't got no time to waste. We don't. So I'm going to go, and this is a very important video, and that video game, the Area 51, thank you to the individual who shared it in the comment, even though they threw your comment in the held for review. Yeah. So I'm going to go, and with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful day, and you may not agree with everything I say. You may see a very beautiful future ahead of you. You may see the world changing for the better very, very soon. Okay. I'm not going to say nothing to it. I'm not. Love you.